I'm Stuart. I'm the founder of saasyDB. I've spent the last 4 years working on a unique research system to find unpublished employee email addresses and contact information. I built this whole system around it to research companies and now focus on SaaS companies to fill this SaaS specific leads database. So let me show you a little bit how it works. This is the company search page, which is what I launched through with last year. Right now, if a SaaS company, if I've researched employees and they're in this page, but not all these companies have employees. If you export employees from this page, it will export all the employees without any filtering. So this page is more for just researching and exporting information about SaaS companies themselves. You can narrow down what kind of SaaS companies you're looking for by the name, focuses, industries, keywords in the description. So if you're looking for specific stuff like MarTech, marketing, SaaS companies, AI related companies, whatever industry keywords, or, play around with these filters right here. Any of these filters you can use in combination. So if you're looking for specific size companies, like, very, very small, 1 to 10 employee headcount, you could choose this. If you're looking for specific countries, you can, if you're looking for French or whatever, you could use this filter. I do want to add soon a regions filter so that you could target like all of the EU, or, MENA, like Middle Eastern, North African, or like other common filters, probably just starting with the EU one because that's most popular searching. That being said, there is a lot more I want to add into filtering. I'd love to have your feedback, what you want to see, what you need. There's a lot more data points to come to. I want to add technographic data and like ad platform use data by the companies, more and more stuff like that, just to make it easy to find exactly who you're looking for. But anyway, these are the existing filters as of today. Also, most recent funding round. So let's say you're looking for French SaaS companies that are, 1 to 100 people. Hit apply filters. The companies that they have a padlock, they're locked. So that's not super relevant if you have, because you can unlock the company in order to pull out the employees. But the company search page, for the sake of this demo, we're just looking for company information. If you have any sort of paid plan, you'll have pagination, so you can go through. The pagination is locked for free users. And also, as a free user, you won't have this button working. But as any sort of paid user, you can export company info only. So you get a CSV file of their funding information, revenue when available, email service provider that the company uses, company name, the country, address usually, industry information, domain, company profile page on LinkedIn. So that's how that works. So I would export CSV by clicking here, reset my filters and start over. Right now there's like close to 36,000 companies. On my other screen that I just looked towards, I have research running. I'm hoping to add, my goal is to add 5,000 companies a week to this database. And that seems doable. I had 5,004 last week, so I hit my goal. I'm working on a batch of companies now to publish hopefully this week. And going forward, 5,000 companies a week is the goal until it's, as exhaustive as possible. But beyond the company search page, there is the employee search page. So if you know who you're looking for to target these companies, you can narrow down the SaaS companies that you want to target, and then the people at the companies you want to target. So let's say I wanted to target people who work in HR. It's very similar filters up top as the company search page, except for now you have employee name and job title keywords. Going down the right side, there's a legacy company, which is if you want to target companies, only target companies more than 20 years old. And then there's AI standardized job department, job roles, so that AI looks at the job title the person's given and puts them into one of 14, I think 15 job departments to try to standardize things in one of like 200 standardized job roles. So I know the UX here is not beautiful. I've been focused more on the data and the filtering rather than the UX, but that's coming too. Still, 2 years into this project, 4 years into this research system, but it still feels like early days with a lot of improvements still to be had, a lot more data to come. I'm working on new filters and new data all the time. So all that to be said, let's say if I wanted to target HR people, I found 3,000 employees with HR within their title. And the way the credit systems works, so to unlock a company so that you can export whatever employees you want, use one credit to unlock a company. In this demo account, I have not unlocked any companies. So it's calculated that I need all the credits, right? Let's narrow it down and just do, let's say I was looking for Germans. I don't know. Yeah. So luckily they still say HR. Let's say I wanted to export all these. I'm going to use 55 credits. CSV will pop up in a second. It takes a second to go through the back end and save everything. Save it real quick. Okay. So that used my credits, right? Now let's say I get rid of that country, Germany. So I'm now filtering just HR. So here it's going to show, 3,000 employees at 1,297 companies. But I unlocked and exported from those German companies. So to export these, I would only need to use 1,242 credits. Hopefully that makes sense. You can individually unlock companies, or, it makes the most sense to use this feature here on a paid plan to export, in batches and get a CSV file. So you can narrow down a lot more than, you can combine filters. So it's going to be all an and function for searching. So if I say C-suite and HR, I'm not going to get a lot of people because HR people usually aren't the C-suite, but hopefully that makes sense. Set my filters, talk about plans real quick. If you want only company information, you don't care about employees, $497 a year for the company research plan. You can export all the companies. There's more companies coming. I'm going to go through and have, starting next quarter, hopefully having a quarterly review of every company, update the information, the employees, stuff like that. Hopefully, eventually, hopefully get to be a monthly to make sure everything's up to date as often as possible. If you need employee leads, there's monthly plan of $97 a month. And here you can unlock 3,000 companies per month. They stay unlocked forever. So if you unlock a company today, if I add employees next month or next year, you have access to that employee information too. And then also with this plan, you have access to all the company data. So here you can export just companies and then, try to find employees in other systems with those domains, like use my system to narrow down who you really want and try to enrich somewhere else, build ad campaigns or whatever with the data. But if you need employees, like they're verified, the email addresses are verified at the time of research, and also have their LinkedIn profiles, so you could target specific people via LinkedIn, via email with this. And you can pull out as many employee information as you need per company once you unlock the company. And if you need a lot of employee information, the unlimited plan is $125 a month, paid annually, so $1,500 up front. You can access, and that let you have access to all data that I have currently and all data that I add going forward and the next year, however long you stay subscribed. So hopefully that makes sense. If you want to test it, test it more in depth with a free plan, with a free sign up, you do get 10 credits. If you want to try a month your first month at a discounted rate, you can use the code 50 off, and that will be your first month will be $50 off. So Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching this. Cheers.